Hey, BJ, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. I'm going to go outside for the first time this year. Doing good? Yeah, not too bad today. It's Thursday, of course, as you know. Weather's beautiful. I've been working around the house a little bit, trying to get some things done. But I thought I would go outside and get a drink. I actually need a snack. But we don't have any snacks. But we have a bag full of snacks. But I don't want that bag full of snacks. So I need to get my iPad so I can read the chat outside. Hang on, guys. All right, let's go find my spot outside. All right, Lily. I knew I had that backwards. Sorry about that. Kind of had to get all set up. Got a little bit more set up to do here. I guess I could do it that way. It'd be all right. Yeah, doing pretty good today, I don't know, some days are better than others, but it's not bad. I need to put you guys on the charger. How are things with the girlfriend, BJ? Everything going great with you for that? I have my own little area out here with the birds that I try to sit in. Lily usually comes out. Maybe she doesn't know I'm here. She may have been sleeping. My dog, Lily. But I got a lot of work to do out here, but today it's in the low 80s here. Really nice weather. Thank you all for the thumbs up. Don't forget that. We appreciate that. Whether you like us or not, we appreciate it. Big Dog Jones. I'm doing good, man. How are you today? We're having beautiful weather. You can't beat it with an ugly stick. So how are you today? What's going on in your world? Any interesting things we'd like to talk about today? We're all just trying to get through the day, right? And it's low battery. Oh, I don't have that cable out here. I don't have my outdoor area set up yet. I do a lot of live streams outdoors when the weather's good. A lot of these, and then of course, when we go fishing, I'm going to try to use my fishing channel this year. Try to get it more active. When we go fishing, I'm going to try to use my... So here we go. Now I can read the chat a little bit better. Jester says, do you like a fish? I love fish. I like to eat fish. I like to catch fish. I like to catch bigger fish than everybody else. I like to throw fish back. I like fish. I like studying fish. Oh, and yes, to all these corporations out there, yes, this live stream could be brought to the audience by you. It's always a lot of work to do every spring. It's part of why I hate the winter. Because when winter comes in, it screws everything up. It dirties everything. You know, it's hard on the furniture. We got some patio furniture out here that needs to, you can't really repair it, but you know, it's doable to sit in for another year maybe, but it looks like shit because of the weather. You know, and one thing I know for sure about patio furniture, because I've been thinking about buying some new patio furniture, but it's a lot of money. I can't believe how expensive patio furniture has become over the years, but it is. And thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. And I'll never buy the patio furniture anymore that looks like rattan or wicker. Now, the next furniture we buy is going to be hard metal. It's just going to be solid metal or solid wood or solid plastic. No more of this fake bamboo wicker crap, you know, that's out there on the market. I don't like it, so we're not going to do that anymore. Got some videos I need to work on. Me and my dog Lily hanging out today. I haven't watched the news much today, so I don't know what's going on with that. I got a lot of birds starting to come in. We did have some cardinals come and visit us yesterday. That was cool. I got one of my hummingbird feeders up. I needed to redo a video on those because I got somebody gave me those, and we like to try to feed the birds, attract the birds. Your thoughts about Strig? I don't know what that is. Streg? Shergan? I don't know what that is, Rick. Thank you for being here, but I have no clue what that is. No clue what that is. But I have a lot of views on everything. I'm telling you, you'll find out on my channel. We talk about pretty much anything. We as long as everybody's open-minded and respectful, we can talk about religion, politics, you know, you name it. We can talk about it. We do talk about it. We don't. I know a lot of YouTube channels steer away and scare away from that about, you know, oh, let's not talk. I don't mind. You may not like what I have to say, but I'll still happy to listen as long as it's, you know, remotely decent in the audience. And you got to respect other people's opinion. But thank everybody for saying hello to each other. That's how you guys get to know each other and grow your channels if you have channels. Rick says me too. So Rick, how is your day going, man? So we'll talk about anything. Some people probably think I'm too opinionated, but I think I'm open-minded. You know, I have a science background, and in science we kind of believe in having an open-minded, not coming to the conclusion before it's time to come to the conclusion. You don't work backwards. You know, you don't have a conclusion and then try to take the facts to meet the data. You know, you getting some drinks now? What kind of drinks are you getting? I have. And by the way, for all of you corporations out there, this live stream can be brought to you by Brisk Lipton Iced Tea or your company. Insert your name. I'm not ashamed of being a Big E beggar. I do, you know, we have a lot of sponsors. I don't e-beg from, individuals, but I'm happy to e-beg from companies. So what kind of drinks are you getting? I have a brisk lemon iced tea. And I drink so many of these on live streams, they should be paying me. The other company that should pay me, which they won't, would be Red Horse Beer, Guinness, and Heineken. Those are the four basic things I drink on my live streams. But no, they're all too big. They don't need a poor little fat guy like me on the live stream to champion their products. The doves are coming in. I must have 20 doves, but I feed the doves. I feed the birds. So I like to feed the birds. And oh, I need to do that. I forgot to do that. Holy shit. How do I do that? I got to do something. And a lot of our followers on Facebook likes to get notifications that way. Because YouTube is not the greatest about sending out notifications at all. So it's a beautiful day, oh my God, but I am thinking about what I got to do out here this spring when I got to power wash the entire area. We spend a lot of time out here because I hate the winter so much. If I haven't mentioned that, I hate the winter, but we spend a lot of time out here. But I got to restain my columns. I'm going to try a new thing about the concrete. I'm going to power wash everything. But they got this new product that's kind of like a paint and a sand epoxy that's for outdoor use, like for inside you see in a garage, but it's designed for outdoor use. And I'm going to try to get some of that this year, and I'm going to cover my concrete with that. And then we got to do power washing, that, a few other little things. My wife will always plant some vegetables. We have carrots already growing left over from last year. I don't know if it was the seeds that dropped, but I noticed in her little flower bed over here in the corner of the yard that she has little carrots growing already. So that's kind of cool. But, you know, we did a little house cleaning today, not much. I cooked some ribs and rice for my wife. My wife's from the Philippines, if you don't know. And they eat rice pretty much every day. So I cooked ribs, because she was complaining that she'd been eating too much fish. She needed some meat, some proteins. I pulled out some ribs out of the freezer and I air fried some ribs. So I did that today. But other than that, I haven't done a whole lot. Me and my dog Lily has just been kind of hanging out, not doing too much. One of the weird things was last weekend, we had these horrible storms that came blowing through. And I mean big storms that came blowing through. Heavy winds, heavy winds. And I got two hummingbird feeders, and one of the strings, or the wire, it's actually a wire, it's sitting right there, that broke, that held up my bird feeder. I guess it broke. It had enough fatigue that it broke. And so my glass hummingbird feeder, luckily, fell right into one of my lawn furniture chairs and landed on the seat cushion and didn't break. But of course, it made a big giant mess. So now I got sticky syrup all over the place. But at least the feeder didn't break. So I'm real happy about that because I like to watch the hummingbirds. Here in a few days, maybe next week. I think the weather's supposed to be good next week. I'll get the grill thing off and I'll clean up the barbecue grill for the year so we can start using it, and I'll get all that. I want to make pizza, so I got to get the pizza oven up and going, and I might move it to a different location. So, working on all of that because I want to practice my homemade pizza making this year. Do a little bit of that is what I'm going to try to do. Might even try to make some homemade bread or something in my little pizza oven. We used it last year, the pizza oven, and it worked okay. I mean, I think they're all a little bit of a gimmick, to get us to buy things. And that's what we do as consumers. We, see something cool. Like right now, I notice at Walmart and everywhere. The coolest thing right now with spring and summer coming on is those frozen drink machines. The like the Ninja slushy makers are really popular, and it's kind of like the old margarita maker, but the slushy maker and the new Ninja ice cream maker is out there. That's really cool looking, and but those are extremely popular at the moment. So you guys may want to buy in those this year. I don't know. I don't think I will. I think they're too expensive. I mean, if we got one down under 80 bucks, okay, maybe. But right now they're a couple $100, and I'm not doing that just for a frosted drink mix thing. So I'm not going to do that. Ooh. My neighbor still has our Christmas lights up. I guess maybe they're going to leave them up every year or year round, but they don't turn them on, so I guess it's not a big deal. And the doves are going crazy. You guys want to see the doves? That's why I wanted to turn that around. You okay, Lily? Lily's all right. Lily's a good dog. Oh, I've been working on a vacation this for us this year. Man, everything's just so expensive. I don't know what we're gonna do, but my wife wants to go on a vacation, and I understand that because I like vacations. But we like going on cruises. So I've been looking at going on another cruise this year, and that's kind of exciting, but it's also frustrating. But we're trying to select which cruise we're going to go on. We pretty much have been to, all the, like, well, not all. We've been to 4 or 5 cruises out of like Galveston, Miami, the Carolinas, Port Canaveral, Texas, maybe 2 out of Galveston. I don't remember. I know we've been out of the Carolinas, Miami. Maybe we went to Galveston twice. I don't know. I don't have a clue where we've been. That's all right. I'm going to move you over and see if you guys can see the birds. There you go. I got some birds eating at the bird feeder. There are birds on top of my solar panel. Why don't we just do that. I'll go I'll get some to eat. My dog Lily is a pretty dog. I hope everybody's doing great out there today. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Thank you all for being here. The thumbs up. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. How's everybody doing? Smells like somebody's doing laundry. How's everybody doing? Smells like somebody's doing laundry. I can smell laundry detergent from here. I don't think it's me. Nah, well, maybe. You guys enjoy watching the birds? My dog just scared the birds away. They'll be back. Nah, well, maybe. Don't forget that thumbs up now. I'm having some cornbread with butter. You guys enjoy watching the birds? My dog just scared the birds away. They'll be back. That charging? There you go. Well, I am looking forward to doing some fishing this year. I just don't know how much I'll get to do or how the quality of fishing where I live, is kind of shitty. I mean, if you have a boat, you can go out and do a lot better fishing, but when you're handicapped and really can't, you got to go to the places that are easy to get to, and the places that are usually easy to get to for fishing kind of suck. But I guess as some people say, at least you get to go. And I understand that. Thank you all for watching my birds today. Beautiful summer day or early spring day that feels like a good summer day. Thank you for being here. Don't forget the thumbs up. What? That? Let's see what's going on in the world today. Okay, Lily? I know you scared all the birds away, didn't you? Tim, how are you doing today, buddy? Good morning to you. Hope your air quality is good in the Philippines today. We're having an easy afternoon today, Tim, just relaxing. We're having an easy afternoon today, Tim, just relaxing. That's good. It's a beautiful day here. It got into the low 80s. Nice little breeze as you can see. So, beautiful day for us. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow, but all next week it's supposed to be, cool again, but not cold. I told the wife today I don't think we're out of the freezing weather. It's still too early to say we're not going to have a frost or a freeze. So we got to be careful with the plants, but we can start working on getting other things done. And I already see that all the wasps are already coming back around and trying to find a home. I don't understand why, but we have such of a problem with wasps trying to make nest at this house. It's the only place that I've ever lived where I've had this much problem. I mean, all summer, spring, trying to kill the wasps. They will try to find and make a nest everywhere around this house. I don't know what attracts them or where they're coming from, what environment. Maybe I need to study what environment they hibernate in or germinate or whatever you want to call it, because maybe we have an environment around us that is conducive for the birth of wasps or something. I don't know. But every year I kill 3 or 4 beginning wasp nests and chase them off. And I saw one over the winter that I didn't catch last year. That's about the size of a beach ball. Not a beach ball, a volleyball. A volleyball. That's way up on one of the peaks of my roof that I got to get down. So I got to work on that this spring. Yes, I am relaxing with my brisk iced tea, Tim. I am indeed. Me and the dog Lily, Lily and I are just hanging out in the backyard. Trying to figure out, Tim, how to be a more productive member of society. But I just don't know how to make that happen. I did have a big disappointment today. I checked my lottery ticket. I did not win. By gosh, a little disappointed. Ah, beekeepers. Yeah, that's a good point. We definitely have a lot of beekeepers or local honey producers. Believe it or not, we do. We have a lot of local honey producers. Because from time to time we buy some of the local honey. So I know we have them right here in our region. But it really is. I mean, I've lived around this area forever, off and on, and this location is by far the worst I've ever been at that has wasp issues. And I guess I don't have any birds that like to eat them because I never see them getting eaten by any birds. We had a lot of birds here. We had about 20 of them on the fence a little while ago. But, good old Lily thought, hey, it's time for me to go scare them. So she ran over and scared all the birds away. I saw in the news in America today, Tim, that they're even talking about it here in America that the price of gas in the Philippines has doubled since the invasion or the bombing of Iran. So, made me curious to wonder if the, yeah, maybe the color of the house could be. Yeah, it could be. But it made me wonder if the Philippines, with the coalition of America, weren't going to send a ship over to the Strait of Hormuz, I think is how they pronounce it, whatever it's called, that oil strait, and say, hey, we're here, Mr. Trump, President Trump, we're here. Can you ship us some of your oil so we can have it, since we can't get it from where we've been getting it? So they we'll send a couple of warships or whatever warship we do have, or one of them or something. I don't know if the Philippine government has warships or not, to be honest. I'm sure they have some kind of ships because of the issue of China. But I think it's interesting what's going on in the news. You know how a lot of these NATO countries don't want to be part of this, but yet they are going to want the oil when it starts flowing again. And two, I think they're playing right into Donald Trump's hands because he's going to turn around and say, see, NATO is not worth putting money into anymore. So the United States will pull out of NATO and take our money with us. And then the next conflict that arises that you need American help on, you're going to have to pay us to do it. So I do think there's some stuff going on behind the scenes like that. And I don't know if anybody saw this on the news today. I thought this was funny, and it's getting a lot of play here in America. The United States and Japan has a really good relationship, and there's some really good deals going on between us. Today, I guess he was meeting with their prime minister, is what I want to say she was, or the leader of Japan. And apparently we have a good relationship. But one of the Japanese reporters asked Donald Trump, and basically, I got to paraphrase what he said. He basically said, we're all surprised that you didn't tell us, Japan, and other countries that you were going to bomb Iran. So how do you feel about being secretive or doing a sneak attack on another country? And Donald, without missing a beat, was like, oh, I think Japan is the expert at sneak attacks. And he brought up Pearl Harbor. It's on the clip's on the news. It's pretty funny. But, it's like, you people are, Japan is, so, but that was some news reporter. The Philippine Navy is unfortunately not as good as it should be. I would agree. Man, but it looks like they're doing bukus of work to Subic Bay, which is great. But they could be better. But I think the spirit is, these small, it's time for these smaller countries to say, look, we don't have much, America, but we will send what we got to help you out so that you'll be nice to us and make us a bigger powerhouse versus people like Britain coming late and all that other stuff. But if you go online, Tim, you can see the thing about Pearl Harbor and Donald Trump today. It's quite funny. It's kind of like, yeah, I like the kettle calling the pot black. Like, well, you guys didn't tell us about Pearl Harbor, now did you? So why would I tell Iran what I was going to do to Iran, Yeah, and I would, if I was the Philippines, obviously, they better improve their Navy, you know. They need to have a fast, elite Navy is what I think they need to have. You know, they need to be able to move fast and quick and, you know, hit and run and do damage and keep going. So I don't know if they need gigantic aircraft carriers, but they need a lot of, you know, fast, swift military boats that's carrying ammo and guns and people and can do a lot of damage and get. Japan can't send them to the Strait of Hormuz due to that it would be an act of aggression. Well, but isn't it international waters? So um, maybe I don't know. That's a good point. As you know, because they're asking. I guess we're asking them to help send escort vehicles or vessels to get the oil out of the strait, right? So yeah, I guess I don't know how that would be seen. And I know that's what everybody's worried about, or the worry is Iran will try to shoot at whatever ships are going through the strait, no matter which country they're from, right? So, um, but what's going to happen, I think, what is the country there? Omar? Is that Omar or somebody, or Saudi Arabia right there at that? I bet you the long term strategy is this: Donald Trump has a plan with these other people. They're going to build a Panama Canal type thing through that country that gets rid of that strait. You watch. It's going to be announced soon that is that Arabia, Saudi Arabia, somebody that little peak, that point is going to undergo a Panama Canal style, and they're going to dig one through there. Now, I mean, it's going to take a couple of years, but they're going to eliminate the fact that Iran or anybody else can do anything about it. So I think that is one of the things that may be working. Japan is limited to the defense of Japan due to the Treaty of Surrender. Ah, all right, I understand that, Tim. That makes sense. I remember that treaty. So yeah, they're not allowed to be aggressive towards anybody, right? And only defense of their homeland. So, but are they not part of NATO? Does anybody know? Are they part of NATO? I don't remember if they. I imagine they are. So maybe under the NATO flag, but NATO's not getting involved, I guess. I understand why what these countries are doing. These countries are playing games with Donald Trump. They still think the old rules apply to dealing with the United States government. They think they're going to outwit him, outmaneuver him, outsmart him. The problem is they don't realize he doesn't care. You know what I mean? You know, our current president doesn't care about your game playing. You know, he's on a different level when it comes to where he's at in his mindset. He doesn't feel like he has to play nice, you know. But Japan was here today. They had a great time apparently. All right, you're right. So it's the North Atlantic. Okay, but I thought it expanded, Tim. I guess I was under the assumption that it expanded its numbers over the years to increase, to add a lot of countries. Maybe I'm wrong, Tim, but I thought, you know, that they went, you know, and added a lot of countries, but I could be wrong. Well, and that's where maybe Trump is doing this whole new, what's he calling his thing? He has a new thing that he's formed that's called something like the World Leadership Council or something like that. I can't remember what he's calling it. His board of peace, maybe, which he invited the Philippines to join, and they did. So Trump is developing his own organization with countries from all around the world. And I know when they invited the Philippines accepted to be, they were honored to be a part of this board of peace. And so far, I don't know how many countries is a part of it, but it's apparently going World Board of Peace. Thank you, Tim. So I know the Philippines is part of that. And I think, what NATO doesn't understand is, I think Donald Trump is maneuvering to replace NATO with the World Board of Peace. And I think NATO is screwing themselves, playing right into his hands. They're doing exactly what he wants. He can now justify pulling out of NATO because he's point blankly said, well, this just goes to show you that they're not here for us. They like what we're doing. They agree with it, but they're not here to back us up. So he's going to make, I'm telling you, he's going to make the pull, he's going to pull out of NATO and take our money with us. And I don't know for sure, but I believe NATO would basically implode if we pull out financially. But I think he's using this as a justification to the world to pull out of NATO. But I do agree, and I do think, and I like the ideal, whether it's him or somebody else, the thought of a world board of peace. I think that's a good concept. To have a world organization that doesn't exclude anybody, any country, communist or not, because I know he invited Russia to join. So I like the concept of having a global board of peace, third world countries included. Need to make the UN to step up to the plate and swing. I agree. But do you really think the United Nations is going to do that? And I know I've heard people talk about how they've lost all of their teeth, and they really don't, function well and all of that. So NATO's going to go away, and maybe his World Board of Peace will even take over the United Nations. I don't know, but I don't think the UN is going to do anything either. I think everybody is so fixated on hating Donald Trump that they can't see the bigger picture. Everybody hates him so much that they can't focus on the fact that he's going to be gone in 4 years, right? Now, the Republicans will probably win again, but my point is, he'll be gone. Things will change, but things will go back. The smart people would play along, get along, and wait it out. I know they're mad at him about the tariffs, which, he had to fix in order to save our country, and immigration. But I think they're not being smart. They're not playing the game. If I was any other country, I would try to be like Japan. Get along, go along. Make a good deal, make some money for my country, and help out because, you get what you get while you can get it. Because when Marco Rubio or the vice president gets elected president next, they're going to have their own thoughts and ways of doing it. Anyfin Possible is watching and listening. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, Anyfin. How's Florida? UN is good at taking American money but not donating it. Yeah, everybody's good at taking our money and not using it as its an intended purpose. So everybody is that. I agree. Driving. Well, be safe driving. No drinking and driving. No potato chip eating and driving. Oh, I should have a candy bar later. There's some of that. And I think that's part of our biggest problem. We've gotten all these countries in the world used to taking our money but not giving us anything in return. And now that they are expected to hold up their end of an agreement, they're pissed. Like, well, I don't like you. You're making me pay my own way. You know? Like, how dare you make me buy my own meal? You know? Well, you're the one who ate the damn food, so, you know, you can pay for your own damn meal. Ooh. But I don't know. It'll get better. I mean, gas is going down here. I know about the Philippines is struggling and other countries where the oil was going to. But here in America, gas has dropped. I mean, we're 285 here, and it was 333 or something at the highest. So, time to fire up the barbecue grill. You're right. Next week, if it's warm enough in the 70s, I'm gonna clean up the barbecue grill and get things. I'm gonna redo my patio area again. I'm gonna dry this year. Lorelai and I got some chores to do. I need to repaint my columns or restain them. I got to do some restaining. But what I want to do is there's a product out there that they use, like it's kind of like what they use on indoor garage floors. But this one's designed to be used outdoors on concrete. And you basically power wash, you clean up your concrete the best you can, and then you pour it, and it's self-levelizing, and it's like a hard enamel or paint or acrylic or whatever you want to call it, a polymer that bonds to your concrete, and you can have it shaded. Ooh, there's a cardinal coming in. You can have it shaded, and I want to do that this year. It's kind of pricey. I think it probably cost me a few $100s to get enough of that product to do my patio. Epoxy, thank you. It's epoxy type thing, yeah. But I'm going to get it probably a light tan color, not a dark color, so it looks whiter in here. You guys see the cardinal and the bird feeder? And then I'm going to put all my stuff back. But I got to power wash all of my furniture. We're going to have our big tropical party again this year. Tropical shirt party, like we do every year. So we're going to be doing that. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody, by the way. Cardinal and a mourning dove on the bird feeder. I like it because it's that epoxy. It's self-leveling and it's kind of thick. And my concrete out here, they did a shitty job on it, so I'm really looking forward to covering this up and making it look mourning dove. That's right, not a morning, but a mourning dove. Yeah, not a ringneck dove. That's right. We got a lot of those doves here, Tim. Yeah, it could be a resin, but it's really nice. I mean, I've been doing a bunch of research on it, and I think it will really improve the way my patio looks, and I'll like it. And it does have a grit in it. I think it's sand, and so you can actually have a little bit of, it's not real slick. So we're going to work on that. I got to go to Lowe's and see how much it costs and whether I order it online and all that. So, and I got to go get some stain for my columns here and do some staining on the front of the house and the back of the house. Our first goal, hopefully this weekend, is I can get my wife motivated to get her party stuff squared away out of the garage. Get all the furniture returned to our friends, put our extra stuff away, get the rug in there rolled back up, get it where we can park in the garage again. And I can break out my fishing equipment so I can get ready to go fishing. So we need to get the garage done and the house done from the party 3 weeks ago. And I bought a couple new things I'm really excited about testing out. So I'm going to do some videos on those. Bought a couple new. I bought one of those steamers, to clean with. I'm hoping. I realized the other day I still got some blood in my truck from when my dog Lily was ran over. I didn't get it all out, so I'm going to try to steam clean my truck seats this year in my truck, and steam clean the kitchen. And then, I bought another product I want to do a video on. It's supposed to degrease your windshield from the inside and the outside. I can't remember, it's in my office. I don't know what it's called. I got it saved there, but I bought 2 bottles. But they're supposed to literally strip off all of the yuck from your windows without a lot of hard work. Even, like on the inside of a windshield, you get all that film from the heater and all that other stuff. You can use this product easily to clean your, and I found that this is a product that they use on TV. When you see a lot of these TV shows with people in the car and the windshield is so clean, this is the chemical they use. So it gets rid of the haze on your windshield. So I'm going to use that this year. I'm going to try Lorelei's car and I'll probably do my truck first in case it screws up. But we're going to do that and test it out and see. And it wasn't real expensive. I think it was like $14 a bottle. So I'm hoping it works really well. And if it works really well, the other thing I'm going to do with it is I'm going to use it on my 2 storm doors in the house. So I got a front storm door and a back storm door, and I want to use it on the inside and outside of those to strip all the wax and dirt off. Because I got a weird thing about having my storm doors pretty clean, and I clean them all the time with glass cleaner, but they never get as clean as I would like. A lot of little chores that we got to do. Got to get motivated. I got to get motivated, boys and girls. There's the cardinal back. Got some, you guys don't see it, but I got a soot feeder over to the left there. A lot of little things to do. And then, of course, the big goal is to save money. But how can you save money if you're doing projects, home improvement stuff? That's always my problem. Home improvement stuff are fun to do, but man, they cost money. I watch these cardinals on the feeder, and they're kind of picky about which they eat. The doves eat one type or 2 type of grain, and the cardinals eat this and that, and they like the sunflower seeds. Maybe use a fine rubbing compound for glass. Maybe. I'll share with you what this stuff is. What you're supposed to do is basically you spray it on, or you wipe it on. Sorry, you don't spray it on. Maybe it is like a rubbing compound, but you rub it on, you let it sit, and then you're literally supposed to just wipe it off with or hose it off with a water hose on the outside. But on the inside, you'd probably have to wipe it off. So you're literally supposed to just use this applicator. It comes with its own applicator, and you're supposed to just rub it on the whole windshield. And I'm going to do a half and half as a comparison to see. And they say to follow the instructions, which I'm horrible at, but I'll do it. And then You get the water hose and you rinse off the outside of the windshield, and it's supposed to make it spotless. So, but I need to do the inside because that's where all that film gets from the heater, you know, the air conditioning, all of that stuff. That's where the film gets, is on the inside. But I'll do it on my old beat up fishing truck first. That way, if it strips off the paint or something, I'll know. But it's not supposed to do any of that. See, I'm trying to lose weight, trying to be more active. So I'm trying to find projects to do. Because if I have a lot of projects to do, well, then, you know, you're more active, right? And so that's kind of my goal. My only problem is with my health, I can only be so active before I have to go. 5-star. No, the reviews were great, Tim. That's why I bought it. I saw it online and went, all right. Then I Googled it and I went to the manufacturer's website. They got 5 stars. I went to Amazon. They got 5 stars. I went to Walmart. They got 5 stars at Walmart. And on Amazon, it had a lot of reviews. So they all said it was just like they said, you know, the applicator was easy to use. It literally hosed off, you know, with the water hose, came off with the water hose. So it got really good reviews. So I was happy about that because you know how it is. There's a whole lot of marketing hype to a lot of things. And when I do Amazon searches and Walmart searches, I search by product reviews. I want to see first and foremost what the rankings are. And if it has, and I'm very careful to watch how many people have reviewed the product. If it has a 5-star rating and then only 5 people have reviewed it, well, no, that ain't gonna work. Because I also know how this Amazon system works. Because I get companies all the time wanting me to give them a good review for a product. And they'll pay me. And they'll send me a product for free. And I don't do this because I don't really like it. But I have a lot of companies that offer to say, hey, I'll send you a can of Lipton Brisk iced tea, and I'll pay you $20 to do the review. I just need you to give me 5 stars and upload a couple pictures on it and say something good about it. So I don't do that. I do get a lot of products that I review for free, but I also pay for a lot of products and I review those too. But I'm very honest about my reviews. So I kind of know how this Amazon review game works. And I am a certified reviewer. So I've been validated. That's why I get so many companies saying, hey, I have a blah, blah, blah. How would you like to review it? Because since I review so many things and my stuff is authentic, I'm classified as a whatever you want to call it. So, just something I do. I don't mind doing them. Sometimes reviews take too long. It's too much work. I mean, you know, not that I'm morally better than anybody else. Well, if they offered me a whole bunch of money, Tim, I'd be happy to lie about their product. You know, I don't have that much scruples. Is what I told everybody at Lorelei's birthday party when they were playing the game. They were trying to guess the correct answer for Lorelei. How well do you know the host type of game? And I told people point blankly, look, I have no scruples. If you guys want to pay me, I'll give you the answers. Unfortunately, they can hire out positive reviews. They can, and that's what they do. And that's why you got to really look at how many reviews they have had. And, you know, Well, I think integrity is about one of the, it's one of those things that I look at and I tell people this. There's a lot of things that can be taken away from you, but only, things like your integrity and your dignity can be, you have to give it away. Somebody can't take your integrity, they can't take your dignity. You have to be willing to give it away. But I guess then again, if we look at it right, everything has its price. My integrity would be a new beach house. I guess a new beach house. I'd be happy to do a product review of somebody's beach house. And I know how the Amazon system works. What you have to do to get your product in the hierarchy where Amazon will recommend it is you got to have not only sales, right, but you got to have good reviews. And so that's why these companies will pay people to review their products. Because one, they get an item look like they sold an item, or two, they get a review. That's how they climb the leaderboard to be recommended by Amazon. Kind of like the same matrix they use at YouTube, right? If one of our video has lots of comments and views, then YouTube keeps promoting it. But if it doesn't, then it just falls flat. And that's what happens on Amazon. Viking is in the house. Viking says, I wish a company would give me a brand new computer i9 with all the best backed in it. I would give a great review. I hear you. I need a new computer too. Tim says, hello to you, Viking. I don't need a new computer. I do wish my computer, my internal memory, I guess that's what you call it, was bigger in the computer I have. My storage is not great, so I have 2 external drives that I put everything on. And maybe the problem is I store all of my files, I keep them, so. Viking says, hello to Tim and to BAC. But I have an Alienware computer is what I have, and it's nice, but it's old. My computer's at least 6 years old. But I'm too cheap to go buy a new one. I don't know how much a good new computer that does really good video editing stuff would run me, but I wouldn't mind having one, I know that. Young Viking, Tim is asking if you went to the Philippines recently. Ooh. Fly almost killed me. Lorelai told me yesterday that she saw tickets to the Philippines that plummeted. And because we were talking about going on a cruise and stuff, right, other trips. And I guess she has some friends that are heading to the Philippines, and they're all bragging about that they're going to go home, which we don't know how much the Filipinos love to go home. And then when they get there, they hate how they're treated in the Philippines. So, but she said airline tickets to the Philippines is really cheap right now. From here. Yes, Tim. I was in Angeles from the 3rd of December to January 28th. He hung out with Ronald the professor. Him and Ronald chased girls all over the island. I got one. I got the electric bug and mosquito zapper. I got one. My problem is they attract the bugs. If you put them too close to you, they attract the bugs, right? They bring bugs to you versus away from you. If you put them far out from you, then they just kill the bugs that are not close to you. I could probably put one over at the bird feeder for a while and kill a bunch of bugs, and the birds would like me. So, but I don't know why tickets are so cheap to the Philippines at the moment. I don't know if it's because tourism is down in the Philippines or what's going on. Jim says, Viking, you should have told me. I would have come out and hung out with you guys. They were hanging out with the women folk. I haven't seen Ronald in a while. I need to message him and see how he's doing. I know Dennis has been really busy with travel and work, so. Yeah, Tim lives in right there by where you were, Viking. Yes, he lives there. He's been living there for what, 12 years now? He's one of the permanent expats. So they fired the tourism director? Maybe. But Lorelei pointed out that a ticket from here to the Philippines is only $1,000. You know, that's pretty cheap from here. Viking's going to be back in December, Tim, so you guys can hang out then. Yeah, the funny thing was, I had her look up a ticket to Miami because one of the cruises I'm looking at goes out of Miami, right? So I'm like, well, how much are tickets, round, trip to Miami? And they were going to be $500 to go to Miami and back from here, but I could go to the Philippines and back for $1,000. Tim's telling you, Viking, I live 20 minutes away from Walking Street. I think AJ lives my view's your world. I think he lives fairly close to the same area, right, Tim, or everybody? I talked to him this morning, or he was on a live stream I saw this morning. But yeah, it's pretty cheap to fly over there now. No way. Viking was in Koreatown. Tim's been there almost 14 years. All right. I was close at 12. Yeah, we went to and I wouldn't call it Koreatown in Cebu City, but we would go to the Korean area of Cebu City. And I gotta admit, I was kind of disappointed. Even though there's a lot of Koreans living there, it really very much wasn't very much of a Korean town. You know, like, man, I was expecting in the Philippines, got so many Koreans there, that there'd be a real, you know, real community, and there's a lot of people there. But yes, we live about a mile from a railroad. About a mile. It's the Arkansas-Missouri Railroad. That's probably the only reason we can afford to live here, because there's a railroad track within a mile. It's so expensive to live in the good areas here that it's unbelievable. Oh, a big blackbird on the bird feeder now, stealing food. And the train's not really consistent either. At least I can't. I mean, I'm sure it has a pattern, but it does come in the evenings a lot during the summer. But sometimes it doesn't come at all for days. It's not like it's a major, you know. Viking says, well, back the Red Street, new walking street's called Red Street, has half the street only Korean bars. Interesting. Tim says Koreatown here is a lot like Chinatown. Well, that's kind of what I expected in Cebu City, was it to be more like Chinatown, but it wasn't. So, Viking, which is better, the Korean bars or the Filipino bars? And I got a feeling they must be maybe two different distinct types of bars. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what they were telling us in Cebu City, that because we were looking at houses and land and stuff like that, and they had kept pointing out to us, oh, well, Koreans own this and Koreans own that, and I'm like, oh, really? And then they would say, well, the Chinese own that big house, but there's like 30 or 40 of them living in it, and they all work and do this and that, you know, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Because they were telling us a lot about how the Koreans and the Chinese would come over, and they would marry a Filipina so they could start a business. And then in the business name, they'd keep buying up and doing stuff. Okay, so the Korean clubs are basically for the Korean tourist. So you're not going to find a lot of Americans in the Korean bars. Because I know a lot of Americans like Korean women. I will say that when I see on TV, now this is on TV, when I see Korean bars on TV, they do not interest me. But now that's a TV version of a Korean bar. You know, they don't, it seems to be a bar full of just drunken men smoking, you know, and being rowdy. So, the very expensive bars, all right. But on TV, that's my vision of Korean bars. A bunch of drunk, sweaty, smelly men, trying to grope a few girls smoking cigarettes. Because that's kind of what you see um, on TV. I was talking about you a second ago, My Views, Your World, AJ. Good morning, good morning. How are you? We were talking about Red Street and the Korean bars and the regular bars and how Viking's coming back and later this year and Tim lives real close and all of that good stuff. I told them all that you were the expert. You knew every bar on Walking Street or Red Street. You knew them all. You've been there. Doing good. We're doing good today also, I guess. Just hanging out watching the birds. No expert. Well, you know more than some, less than others, I guess, right? I've never been on Red Street or Walking Street, so we've been all over Cebu, but not Manila. Just been to a few more than the average person. But my views, the real question is, how many of them did you get kicked out of? So they are a lot more expensive. Viking says 500 pesos for a drink versus half of that in the Filipino bars. I'm not an expert and I don't go to them. There's UK Dave is in the house. UK Dave, how are you? Good to see you. We appreciate you coming in and thank you for the thumbs up, as always. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. That's a big deal. We appreciate you for doing that earlier. What's up, Viking in Norway? The real, he is. He's the, the sniffer outer. Doing good? Nice. I don't know. I'm married. When we lived there, I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. So I don't know anything about the bars because I was never allowed to step into one. I mean, none of them. Any of them. I wasn't allowed to go after dark out in public, so. UK Dave is saying hello to everybody. Everybody say hello to UK Dave. You guys keep chatting. I'm gonna run in the house real quick. Kill him, eat him. Kill him, eat him. All right, boys and girls. Starting to get a little chilly. Sun's going down in America. The dogs are going crazy. Let's go inside. I'll go back over here to the office. Well, I was supposed to get a package today, but it never showed up. Let me get you guys sat down and I'll attend to you in a second. Let me get you guys squared away. Hey, Viking. Well, UK Dave, we appreciate you catching us live. We do indeed. We enjoy having people from around the world and hanging out with us. I think UK Dave does have a YouTube channel, by the way. Maybe we'll go with purple lighting tonight. All right. Yeah, I was supposed to get a couple packages today, but they never arrived. I ordered a Belgian waffle maker. I got a thing for Belgian waffles. I ordered a Belgian waffle maker, and but it hasn't got here. And I'm ready to make Belgian waffles. And then I ordered one of those red light therapeutic boots for my ankle because I have such a bad ankle. But yeah, I love Belgian waffles. And but I got one of those. I ordered it, so it should have been here today, but it's not. But I'm a gigantic. My wife likes the pancakes. You know, she's from the Philippines, and for some reason, she's gotten on this kick where she likes to eat pancakes, which I'm not a big pancake fan, but I do like Belgian waffles. And they got to be Belgian waffles. And if you don't know the difference, an American waffle is shorter. Belgian waffles are taller. And why you want them taller is because you get more of the goody crust versus less goody crust. I got to turn the light on. You guys hold on. Let's see if that helps make me look any better. But yeah, I bought one of those. I got to get my ankle better after all these 30,000 of years of life. You don't even have a toaster? I like toast. I admit, I'm a toast guy. I like toast. I like bagels, English muffins, but I like Belgian waffles. Not a big pancake fan. I make good pancakes, but I'm just not a big pancake fan. But I like the Belgian waffles. It was when I was still teaching at the college and they would send me somewhere, I would, when I booked my hotel, when I looked for hotels, I always went for the ones that had a continental breakfast or a full breakfast in the mornings that had Belgian waffles. Because that's the only time I got to eat them. Viking, Belgian waffles with strawberries, that's it, or blueberries. or blackberries or raspberries, any berries, even peaches. You got me thinking I should have went to Margarita Station with breakfast group. Yeah, you should have. Viking, AJ's asking if you're still in the AC. Yeah, I was thinking that last night, AJ, My Views Your World, that man, I really haven't gone to breakfast and had breakfast food in a long time. And man, I sure do miss it. Maybe I ought to do that. I'm going to switch you guys over. Let me get repositioned. I'm going to reposition the camera. You guys, hold on for a second. We can be more comfortable. And that'll help us. That will help us. My views, nope, we're back in Norway. But I often think that I miss going to having an American breakfast. My wife doesn't like American breakfast at all. And I don't blame her, you know, but she doesn't like it, so we never get to go. And since I don't have any friends that are into it, or that I don't keep very many friends anyway. I don't have anybody to get up and go eat breakfast with. And I like going to mom and pop places. You know, homemade restaurants where you get the good biscuits and gravy. Tita Marie's in the house. Good to see you, Tita. How are you? How's the Philippines treating you, young lady? Everybody saying hello to Tita. Thank you for doing that. Jim says, I don't know a good place for American breakfast here. Yeah. And what all I mean is just biscuits, sausage, and gravy. You know, that's the thing for me, biscuits and gravy, sausage gravy. But we don't really have that, so I don't get to do that. My Views Your World. Where is Tim? Tim. Tita says hello to me. VFW has SOS. Shit on a shingle? Hello, Tita. Ah, I remember, yes. But one of these days, I'll have biscuits and gravy again somewhere in my life. Just not right now. Tita saying hello to everybody. Everybody said hello to her. My views, I am in. He's outside of Evangeline City, about 20 minutes. ZRB Coffee Lab are my favorites. Okay. Yeah, I haven't had a good cup of coffee either. Tita Marie, Tim saying hello. You know, we don't have around it. Well, we do, to be honest. We live in a region, an area where the Walmart home office is. And if you want to brave traffic, and if you want to brave 10,000 35-year-olds or less, you can go over. There are places that are really cool to sit outside and eat and drink coffee and do all of that trendy stuff. But it is so unbelievably crowded that we don't go. We don't go. But around where we live, we really don't have a lot of great places. Not had coffee in 14 years? Wow. What I like about a coffee, and I know this is probably boring to people, I like just plain, I don't drink coffee very often, but what I like is just plain ordinary coffee with cream and sugar. I don't want one of those weird fancy coffees. I just want a cup of coffee. Like if I go to IHOP in the morning or one of those places, or, a cup of coffee with cream and sugar is all you need. Caramel macchiato. No, man, you're too fancy. Come on, I expect you to drink manly drinks. All those all those fancy coffees really are hot shakes. They're shakes. They're hot shakes. But we don't. I like green tea. I will admit I'm a green tea person, but I don't get to go very often. And since my wife doesn't like me going out in public without her, I don't really get invited to go anywhere. That's okie dokie. Manly coffee only when you're working. Working. Well, what do you consider working? That's the question. What are you saying is work? This live stream, by the way, is brought to you by Brisk Lipton Iced Tea, the favorite tea of the leader of the pack. Please endorse my channel, Yeah, drip coffee is way better than 3-in-1. I like 3-in-1, but I don't drink it anymore because it's nothing but chemicals. And I'm trying to do better with that. I really am. I'm trying to do better about reading the ingredients. And it's nothing but chemicals. And I find that if I don't have it for a while, then I have one, it really does a number on me. I don't like it. But if I keep drinking it, then I'm fine. I like drip coffee too. That's what I mean. A regular cup of coffee with some cream and sugar. Never working again is work. Oh, man. Never working again. I feel like I work every day. So, my goal every day. I don't have any goals, So, Tita, how are you enjoying the Philippines? That's right. Maria is enjoying the retirement life indeed. She is. She's traveling. I keep telling my wife that if we could ever get out of house debt and we don't have to live in a really nice house, or a nice house, not a really nice house, but just a nice house, and we could ever move somewhere where it's a lot cheaper, then we could travel a lot more and she wouldn't have to work as much. But she doesn't believe me. May too, just enjoying the retirement. I mean, I would enjoy, the weird thing is, or the bad thing is this, I would enjoy being retired if I didn't have a bad heart, bad lungs, bad kidneys, and bad body. So if I was healthy, I would really enjoy being retired because I would be everywhere, going everywhere, doing everything. I mean, I would be so unbelievably active and enjoying all kinds of things, projects. But, my problem is, I retired unhealthy. So I'm envious of the people that retire and that are healthy. It's a hard job not to work, Tim says. Yes, indeed. But I really would enjoy retirement if that was the case, If I was like, my views are AJ, kind of younger and healthier, Viking, some of these younger cats that are prowling the streets, I would be happy to be retired. But it sucks being retired if you don't have the physical ability to enjoy it. It's one thing I've learned the hard way. Not a whole lot we can do about it, right? But, you know, except for complain. The Philippines is very expensive now, Tita. She says the Philippines is freaking expensive now. Crazy, unexplained skin tax. Yes. Oh my God, scam after scam here. Yes. Aside from that, Filipinos and culture make up for the shortcomings. It's great here. Good. I'm glad you're having a good time. One thing that even the skin tax issue, we found living there, my wife got the foreigner tax because it's kind of, and I think this kind of hurt her feelings because since she'd been in America so long and she's married to an American, she was no longer considered a local. So they were taxing her on my skin color, on our marriage. Now, maybe they didn't tax her as much as they would tax me, but they played that game with her. They treated her like a money bag outsider. And that, I think, made her sad. If I didn't have a bad back and mind, I would be good. See? If Tim's back was good and if his brain was good, I forgot about that. I got the squishy brain thing going on. I can live with that. Tim, I think I can wander around with the squishy brain if I could just wander around, you know. But yep, the people are good people, gotta admit. For the majority of them are good people. I know there's a lot of hustling going on. But we understand the hustling. I mean, we do it in America, it's just done differently, right? There they hustle day to day. Here we hustle month to month. So it's kind of different, but same. Maybe we should come up with a t-shirt that says, I've already paid the skin tax. You know, so when you go shopping, you can wear it and let them all know that you've already paid it. So, yeah, you have migraines. Tim does. My mind is what gives me migraines. I've been having a lot of neck issues lately. I'm trying not to go to the doctor this year because one, I don't care if I live or die anymore. But two, I don't want to spend the money. Three, I've been having neck problems. It's giving me some really bitch of a headache. And I'm really hesitant to spend the money and go to the doctor to have an x-ray for them to tell me, say, yeah, your neck is bad. Go to physical therapy. Because that's the answer in America. Whatever's wrong with you, you got to go to physical therapy or take a drug. Well, that's not going to work. You know, physical therapy on my neck's not going to work. But thank you. So every time you have a problem in America, they want to go to physical therapy. Your ankle hurts, go to physical therapy. Well, that's 40 bucks a pop, you know, so no. But I'm having a lot of neck issues. I don't know why, a lot more than normal. I have a bad neck from when I played sports. I was one of those idiots in high school that believed my coaches. You know, when they said you got to be super strong and you got to lift all these weights, I was able to lift so much weight with my neck and shoulders and bench press 400 pounds. No. I tell young people today, look, if you like sports, that's great, but don't buy into the bullshit these coaches are telling you. Got to go to Manila on the 26th for your medical appointment. Nice. But yeah, I've been having a lot of headaches lately. I mean, I've been sucking down, you know, drugs like crazy. Been using cream in my brain, my neck, you know, like Asper cream, arthritis cream, all over. I've been having a lot of problems with the neck lately, and I just don't know why. So, but what are you going to do? You know, I mean, you get, you know, at least I do. I get so tired of jumping through the hoops. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go to this doctor. This doctor is going to take an x-ray. I'm going to pay this much out of pocket. This guy's going to tell me to go here. I'm going to pay them more money. They're going to do more stuff. They're going to give me physical therapy for 5 or 6 months at 2 times a week at $40 a head. You know, no, I know it. 3 is in the house saying, I am a mechanic for Cebu Pacific Airlines. Outstanding. Congratulations. I'm sure that's a very well-paying job in the Philippines. Congratulations on your success. Being disabled and traveling is hard. Many places, especially in the province, don't accommodate the elderly. I agree. We're having that big issue right now with me, Tita. You know, we want to go on a cruise this year, and the mobility scooter I have is not cruise friendly, and plus it's wore out really bad. So I need to buy a new mobility scooter, one for everyday use when I go out to parks and fishing and things, or the mall. But I also need a travel one, which is more of a specialty scooter for the cruise ships. And so, but you're talking about dropping $2,500 for the appropriate quality scooter to go on cruises and airlines. But along with that, you get the drama, because there's a lot of people that don't like the scooters on the cruise ships, you know, because there's so many people running around using scooters that really aren't handicapped. So you get the stigma sometimes of just being fat and lazy because you're using a scooter versus really needing things. And so traveling in the cruise ship world and all of this is like, Jesus Christ, people. You know, I just want to go and enjoy my damn self. Tita, I don't look disabled and I don't get treated properly. All right. You know, it's, but you're right. And that's one of the hard things we had in the Philippines was my ankles have so much problems. Walking around in the Philippines was a real booger. It was kind of, you know, walk at your own risk. Because a lot of places didn't have sidewalks at all. They didn't have handicap areas, you know, so you'd have to jump over things. A lot of construction, debris. In the Philippines, a lot of the, you know, the malls were busted up. The elevators didn't work. The escalators didn't work. So, you know, you're limited what you could do if you're handicapped in a lot of these countries. And then, of course, you know, I don't want to use a scooter. I want to walk as much as possible, but there are, you know, look, I hate it, but I gotta admit that I would be stupid not to take one with me on a cruise. I would just be stupid. I would try not to use it, and I wouldn't use it off of the cruise ship. I would go on excursions where I didn't have to, but still. Probably use your cane more. You know, what's weird for me, you know, I have a really good cane from fashionablecanes.com. By the way, go there and buy your canes because they give me free ones. But I have a very good quality cane that carries big weight. But my problem with walking with a cane is I actually feel like I need two, kind of like walking sticks. I feel like I need two of them, one in each hand. It's kind of what I feel like. And what, you know, because I'm always shifting hands depending on which ankle or knee hurts. So I got a bad left ankle, a bad right knee, right? And so depending on how I stepped or where I step, you know, and a lot of times I got to use them to carry my weight. So it would be nice. I actually thought about using those crutches that has an arm wrap here that you can kind of rest on a little bit. Because I have found that when I go to Walmart or stores and I push a shopping cart, I do much better than walking on my own because it carries part of my weight. So, yeah. But, you know, nowadays you got to run around in public if you're using a scooter with a shirt that says, yes, I really am disabled. It's like we talked about the other day about the handicap parking spaces. Your tag on your car saying that you're disabled is no longer good enough. You got to have 4 legs chopped off of you before anybody won't harass you. Tim, I get it. You're invisible. Get a t-shirt. When I was expecting, my hubby got me a t-shirt saying that I'm not fat, I'm pregnant. I wore it when I took the subway and bus so I can get priority seating. There you go. Yeah, I think Jamie Avocado was talking about that yesterday. how somebody was fighting her because she was, trying to, don't like walking. I don't either. I don't like all the people. I don't like doing it with the mobility scooter, and I don't like it at all because there's too many people. And my problem is the flow of traffic. I would feel better if there was a flow of traffic, like driving a car. Well, in the Philippines, they don't have one, but in America, a flow of traffic. So if everybody would go this direction and then go to this direction, I would feel better. Because my problem is stopping suddenly when I'm walking is painful and causes me problems. It can throw me off balance. I'm not good at dead stopping, and people are cutting in front of you all the time. That's when I'm walking. That's why I don't like being around little kids, because they're always bumping into you or getting into your legs or cutting in front of you. Nothing against them, but I watch out for little kids. But the same thing goes on true if you use the mobility scooter. It's a freaking nightmare trying to dodge people. And then they get mad at you because you're taking up space. It's like, but it can be a nightmare in malls and Walmarts, and I hate it. I try to go with the flow of traffic, but I'm the only one in the mall that goes with the flow. And I'm thinking, Tim doesn't like any place that has lots and lots of people in it. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all, Tim. I don't like the chaos either. I got to admit, since my coma, I'm not a fan of the chaos. I'm not. I'm always on alert, I guess is how to say it. I'm always paranoid somebody's going to touch me. I'm a little paranoid of that, that people are going to touch me because I don't want to be touched. Since my coma, I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be bumped into. I don't want that. So I'm a little, paranoid about that. That's why I try to be in control of my environment, I guess. But and Tina, and something I was thinking earlier today, because I've been studying about what mobility scooter I need to buy. And I'm doing a lot of research on it so I can not waste my money. But I thought, okay, because I've been reading on the cruise ships, people have the problem on the elevators. So the people on a scooter have to get into the elevator to go up and down. And that's what everybody gets mad at. The scooter people get mad, the elevator people get mad that somebody on a scooter is taking up space, blah, 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 whine, bitch, whine, complain about everything, right? So I was thinking, I wonder that maybe it would be better to get the one that you could fold up real quick, stand up, because I can stand up and walk around some, stand up, fold it up, walk into the elevator, get out of the elevator onto the floor I need, and then open it up again and use it. So I'm thinking about doing that, about getting one that I know I can collapse in the elevators. If it's a really busy elevator, just collapse it and take it in like a piece of suitcase. That way nobody's giving you a hard time. Because my problem is, and I don't mean to sound bad, but my problem is I don't want anybody giving me a hard time, because if you give me a hard time, I'm going to break your freaking neck. Don't give me a hard time. Don't confront me. I'm not the one that you need to confront. Just stay over there and leave me alone. Because, I don't have all maybe the marbles that most people have. So you don't want to confront me. I'm just not the person to do that to. Just leave me alone. So I try to avoid that, because I don't want to hurt anybody. And the sad thing is, I don't care if I get hurt. That's not something that bothers me. But I don't want to hurt anybody. So I worry about that. I don't want confrontation because I don't want to have to hurt anybody. So I've tried to figure this out, how I can avoid those conflicts. I tolerate it when I am traveling through airports. Yeah, and a mobility scooter is great for airports. I mean, the airports are so freaking big. That's where they really come in, I feel. You put them on the plane, you might have to check them under, whatever. You get them, once you get it, your scooter, you can book through the airport. You can hug the walls and you guys can get through an airport pretty quick if you can't find the golf cart and all that. So, because a lot of times you're carrying too much luggage, and the mobility scooter, one, I can drag luggage, I can add luggage to it, I can put luggage on me, I can put a backpack in front and a backpack in back and sit on the scooter and put a piece of luggage between my legs, and Lorelei can tow one. And so we can buzz down the airport while me carrying the majority of it and her leading the way. And that works really well in airports, because walking those long distances in airports are a booger. And then all the people that you got to dodge. And the more dodging I have to do, the more my legs hurt, more my back hurts, because you're shifting and moving all the time. And I don't like that. I don't like to do it. I like to I don't mind walking, but I need to walk at a gentle, comfortable pace, not having to jig-jag all the time. It just doesn't work well for me. But we have found the scooters were good for the airports. We really have. And if you get the right one, they can take it and stick it and give it to you when you get off of the, what do you call that? Not the tarmac, the gangway. So they can have it right there at the gangway for you, or maybe you got to wait a few minutes and get it. So they work pretty well. And yeah. But I was thinking today, because I've been studying all these damn scooters and what's going to work well, try to suit some of my needs. Well, maybe I get one that's easy folding for cruise shipping and airlining, so I can hit the button and it folds up. Get it in the elevator and then get it out of the elevator. But they are not very comfortable. It's one thing I can say is they're just not very comfortable. The foldable ones are like, they're just not designed to go long ways without, putting some pain in the butt and the back. So for outdoor use, you got to have something different. But I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it and see it. And I don't think, traveling's, a great fun. It's a lot of fun. Or it should be fun, right? When we travel, it should be fun and enjoyable. We shouldn't have to stress over whether we're going to hurt ourselves or be in pain for 2 days. The last cruise ship we had, the last cruise ship we went on was in Aruba, that big long one. And I even broke my cane, the cane I had at the time. Because I had to use it so much because I twisted my ankle doing this and that. I couldn't get any better. And I wind up, busting the foot off of my damn cane. And it was horrible. So, yeah. Use your cane more, Tim. I think it's a good thing. Do whatever you got to do to help yourself is okay, even though it's not an easy thing for us to do. And I recognize that. I really do. I don't like it anyway. So I've been working on that a little bit, but we'll see. I don't know. But I understand where you're coming from, Tim, that a lot of times it's the people. I get that. The noise. It's, I can only hear so many things at one time. I can only process so much information now. And what bothers me is when I'm trying to process what's in front of me, what's at the left of me, what's to the right of me, what's behind me, who's talking, who's yelling, who's screaming, I don't like having too many things to process. It stresses me out. It makes me nervous. But when I'm driving a car, it doesn't bother me because inside the car, it's quiet. So I can see all the traffic. I've been watching it behind me, to the left of me. I know what's going on, all of this stuff. As long as nobody's doing this in my ear, then in a heavy traffic situation, it doesn't bother me a bit. But get me in an airport or a mall where everybody's going, ah, you know, and the wife is going over here, and I can't do it. I can't, and I keep telling my wife, I can't listen to two people at the same time anymore. I can't do it. I can't hear the lady that's explaining to me what we're buying, and I can't hear you telling me, rah, 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 rah. You know, I can't do it. I got to listen to one person at a time, you know. So let me do this, then I'll deal with you, you know. But that's just the way life is, right? Not a whole lot we can do about any of it, but do what we can do is all I know to say. All right, let me see. What time is it? Oh, it's getting late for me. All right, my friends, it's after 8 p.m. here. I think it's time for me to jump off of here. I might try to do a later live stream tomorrow night, depending on how I feel. But everybody in the house, we thank you for being here. All of the new subscribers, we thank y'all. Can't appreciate you enough. So a little bit after 8 o'clock here, I still got some things to do. So let me jump off of here and get some of my work done around the house. And hopefully we'll see all of you wonderful people in another day or so. All right. Take care, everybody. See ya.